Finale von 2000. Ist er die Nummer 70 der Welt? Die Rede ist von Kirk Shepherd. 1 gilt die Distanz, Best of 11 Legs. Man braucht also 6 Legs, um in die zweite Runde einzuziehen. Und der Caller dieser ersten Partie ist You Ware.
Welcome to the European Tour 2018 edition. And the first couple of chapters of this year's story have been, well, a familiar tale. Michael van Gerwen beating Peter Wright in finals in Leverkusen and in Munich. Let's see how Chapter 3 unfolds here in Saarbrücken. Last year it was an absolute thriller. The final, you may remember, Peter Wright continuing his dominance at this stage of the Euro Tour last year with a brutal 1-2-1 check-out to beat Benito van der Pas in that final. Joining me in the commentary box for it was Mike Lawrence, and he returns for this one, the opener between Simon Stevenson and Kirk Shepherd.
Yes, good afternoon, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, it was a real cracker, that final last year. A great weekend, and looking forward to another weekend here in Saarbrücken as well this time round. As we prepare to get the first match of the afternoon underway, two of the UK qualifiers meeting each other, Simon Stevenson and Kirk Shepherd. 18 UK qualifiers. Among them was Paul Nicholson. We'll see him in action this evening, and hence that's why I've been brought off the subs bench this weekend to join you, and Dan Dawson will be with us later on in the commentary box.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, Simon to throw first. Game on.
Yep, as usual, all the unseeded players in action on this Friday session. A couple of sessions of darts this afternoon. We'll see the likes of Terry Jenkins, Richard North, Danny Noppert, all in action. And then tonight,
85.
Dimitri van den Berg, Nicholson, who you mentioned, and James Wade, who's reached semi-finals in each of the first two European Tour events of the year. Tomorrow,
100.
the seeded players join the action, the likes of Van Gerwen, Wright, and many of the top players in world darts. And the winner of this one will take on Gerwyn Price, who, for the first time this season, will
60.
be appearing having not played in the Premier League on the Thursday. After that tournament began the second phase last night in Sheffield.
100.
Yes, eliminated was Gerwyn Price, and openly admitted he had a fairly torrid time in the Premier League on his debut season in that tournament. Here's Simon Stevenson, though, looking to fill up the bed, but it was just the 85.
Stevenson a slight favourite for this one. He's performed better over the last couple of years
100.
on the Pro Tour. In fact, his performances this year have been very, very decent indeed. He's very high up in the list of averages on the statistics for performances 100. On the Players' Championship circuit this year. But Kirk Shepherd, we know, is very capable of producing decent performances and runs.
100.
Former World Championship finalist, no less.
Yes, incredible to think that was a decade ago that he went all the way to the final in Ali Pali before being beaten by John Part, the youngest ever World Championship finalist.
Well, he's down to 101 in this first leg, so he's got an opportunity
59. Could you require 101
to steal an early breaker throw.
So looking for double 16 for a 101, or
59.
just outside the wire, but
Simon, you
Stevenson
require
then will be
112.
back to get a first leg on the board, settle any early nerves here on the Saarlander Halle stage. It will be buzzing as the weekend goes on. Obviously Friday afternoon,
52. Could
not
you
so
32.
busy, but as people make their way from work, they will be packing the place out, we assure you. And Kirk Shepherd does hit the double 8.
Second leg, Kirk to
for a break of throw.
Game on.
Early on in this match.
So as with all the players in action
140
on the first day of European Tour events, they've had to come through qualifiers to get here. Shepherd beating Paul Rowley and John Henderson in qualifying for this one. A real scalp, really, the
95.
Kind of form that the Highlander has been showing of late.
$43.
And a scalp too for Simon Stevenson in qualifying, beat Chris Dobie, who's been in terrific form at the start of this year. That was after wins against Dawson Merschel, the young Canadian, and Richie Edhouse.
140.
Yes, you mentioned Simon in a good run of form at the start of this year. Made it to the UK Open finals itself. Lost to James Wade in the third round. Also reached the last 16 of the first UK Open qualifying event. That was after going back to Q School to
99.
regain his tour card at the start of the year.
Well, that means he's going to have
60.
half a
Simon,
dozen
you require
darts to
167.
cancel out that immediate breaker throw from Shepherd.
He's got a bit of time to weigh up his options here, just having a think, with Kirk still back on 218. And not putting a great dent in it.
44. Simon, you require 108.
Yeah, he's still got half a dozen darts for 108. Could use that.
Game shot the second
shot
leg.
instead, but he got the outcome he desired.
Third leg,
check out
Simon
then
to throw
to
first.
immediately break
Game
back
on.
for the man from Plymouth.
I've met once before this pair. That came in the second Players' Championship event of this year. And Simon Stevenson won that match comfortably, 6-2.
100.
We mentioned Kirk Shepherd getting to the World Final back in 2008. He's had to be going back to Q School a couple of times since then to stay on the tour. He last won it back in 2017, the 2-year tour card. His best performance last year was a quarter-final in the 13th Players' Championship event in Wigan.
The day that these two met actually was Stevenson's best run. He reached the semi-final of that Players' Championship, losing out to MVG at that stage before Van Gerwen beat Corey Cadby in the final. So who knows, could be a good omen playing Kirk Shepherd.
So again, Stevenson will have a bit of time here, but a good pressure shot from Shepherd with that 139.
Yeah, he's made that time disappear. Well, it's tops then. He was aiming for the 16, I'm sure.
28. Kirk, you require 62. Game shot the third leg. Kirk
Solid finishing then from
Fourth
Kirk
leg,
Shepherd.
To throw first. Game on.
And the third leg in a row going against the throw.
134.
So the menu then for this afternoon following this will be Matt Egger against Steve West. Then Terry Jenkins makes his return to the European Tour stage, taking on Cameron Menzies. Then a couple of
96.
debutants when Mike Kyvenhoven takes on Tobias Muller. Then a short break before Jan Decker faces Daniel Larsson of Sweden.
100.
Rennie Idams, the home nation qualifier, up against Ricky Williams. Richard North against Danny Noppert in I think, the standout clash of this afternoon's session. And Jose Justicia of Spain against Luke Woodhouse.
81.
Yes, the host nation qualifiers and European qualifiers were held here last night. 8 players from the European qualifier making it through, and 4 from the host nation, Germany, of course. So those home nation players sure to be well supported
140.
by the crowd here as the day goes on.
Shepherd looking to take out 136.
120.
Would have been an early highlight, but he's put himself in a very strong position to earn the first hold of throw in this match.
140. Kirky requires 16.
Stevenson going the old MVG route of trying to stay there for double 2.
Games on the fourth leg.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Shepherd. Fifth leg, Simon to throw first.
Yeah, you mentioned
Game
the
on.
home nation qualifiers, Mike. In particular, there'll be a lot of hope and perhaps expectation on the shoulders of Max Hopp again, because he's really returned to form. He's one of these 4 qualifiers once again. In fact, he's qualified for the next 2 European Tour events.
140.
The others, Muller, who I mentioned, and Idams, plus Dragutin Horvat, who takes on Alan Taburn this evening. Max Hopp had a fantastic run to the quarter-finals in Munich and followed it up with another last 8 run at a Players' Championship event. So certainly be keeping a keen eye on his progress, because he's in with a shout of becoming the first German player ever to qualify for the World Match Play.
Which would, of course, be fantastic. We get fantastic crowds wherever we go in Germany. More and more events being staged here. And it would be great to see one of their nation's stars really break through and become a
55.
TV major regular. And you sense Kirk Shepherd just getting into his stride now as this game wears on.
100.
Yeah, decent standard of play. Mid-90s average for Kirk Shepherd.
100.
Stevenson looking to put pressure on that 106 finish, awaiting Shepherd. Just having a look at the scores.
88. Kirk, you require 106.
He missed the dart for 136. He's going to get one for 106. And this time he doesn't miss. Kirk Shepherd is running away with this.
Kirk to throw first. Game on.
Here's a decent 3-dart finish from Shepherd. First to 6 in the opening rounds of this competition, as it says on your screen there. And then a longer format now slightly for the semi-finals and finals on the European Tour for this year.
60.
Yeah, we go up to first to 7 and first to 8 in the last couple of rounds now, and that has been a welcome change in my opinion, and I know the opinion of many. And the first final vindicated it, didn't it? An 8-7 win for Michael van Gerwen, although I'm not sure Peter Wright would agree.
85.
Yes, MVG and Peter Wright contesting the 2 finals we've had so far on the European Tour. 46 other players looking to change that, as Kirk Shepherd hits the first 180 of this European Tour event here in Saarbrücken.
Yeah, it's turning into
140.
a dominant display from the martial dartist.
Gotta love that nickname.
100.
Yep, and on for a possible 14-darter again.
81. Kirk, you require
Goes within 1 leg of victory, Kirk Shepherd.
Well, he's not missing much, but he's got to go 20 ball surely with Stevenson on the finish. He decided not to.
51. Simon, you require 135.
Oh, that surprised me. Will he pay the price? 85 left. Off the hook.
75. Kirk, you require 36.
Yeah, it's a bit of a relief for Kirk Shepherd. He steps up for double 18, no messing. Looking really solid on his doubles.
7
Kirk
leg,
Shepherd
Simon to throw first. Game on.
here this afternoon. And a long way back now for Simon Stevenson.
44.
And not the way he would have wanted to have started this leg, that's for sure.
Master of the understatement there, Mike.
97.
Just sums up his seemingly short stay in the tournament, doesn't it?
60. 140.
Yeah, Shepherd really punishing those opening 2 visits from Stevenson, where he's been unable to find a treble. There we go. That's more like it.
100.
Kirk a lot of confidence ahead of his clash with Gerwin Price, assuming he sees this out from this position. I'm not sure if Gerwin Price is
94.
a different person this week, having lost the pressure of being a Premier League player. But he was beaten heavily by Luke Humphries in the last European Tour event.
60. Kirky require 170.
Now, can we finish with a fanfare?
$58.
He's taken out 106. He'll be back for 112 to win the match.
59. Kirky require
And the way it has been
112.
finishing. They'll certainly threaten it. Double 16 to finish the job.
80.
But he will be back. To book his place in round 2.
100.
Against
Kirky
Gerwin
require
Price.
32.
Stepping up for double 16.
Game shot
And there it is, Kirk Shepherd is the first man through to the second round of the German Darts Open here in Saarbrücken. A dominant display sees off Simon Stevenson. He'll face Gerwin Price tomorrow. We'll be back in a few moments' time when Matt Edgar takes on Steve West. But before that, we will hear from your first winner on this Friday afternoon when Elmar talks to Kirk Shepherd.
Kirk Shepherd setzt sich glatt durch mit 6:1 gegen Simon Stevenson. Damit steht Kirk in Runde 2. Kirk, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was very good on the doubles. Almost 60% on doubles.
Yeah, doubles been going well. I felt really nervous through that game for some reason. Didn't know why, but plugged in, got there in the end, and happy to get through.
Yeah. We need to talk about 2008. It's always the same story, huh? What do you remember from that year, from that World Championship?
It was a good time. It was a good time. I'll be totally honest with you. Now, I wish I'd never done it.
Came too early?
Yeah, very much. For about 5, 6, 7 years after that, I don't think I was able to relax and play darts how I'd like to with the expectations on my shoulders. Some people can deal with it. You Michael van Gerwins, young lads, you know, you Michael Smiths, brilliant players. I couldn't deal with it, but hopefully now I'm coming back a little bit.
Yeah, you're still young enough. That's the good thing. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kirk Shepherd. Guter Auftritt von ihm. Und er sagt 2008, ganz ehrlich, ich wünschte mir manchmal